Trent Richardson is in studio, and I got to say, you can't see the studio, but we've never had this many people in here for a Gary Harris show at one time. So we've set a Gary Harris show record. We've got, about 8 people in here total, but one of them is Trent Richardson. Good morning, Trent.
Good morning, man. How you doing?
Oh, doing well, man. Good to have you. I know Alabama fans are excited about hearing from you. And before we get into some stuff in terms of career and all that, let's go ahead and talk about what you're doing in Tuscaloosa today. I know you've got a special appearance coming up later on this afternoon with some good friends of yours there with Ezell's. Talk about what you're going to be doing this afternoon.
We got a signing today, and just coming back to the community, and being back in town, and really, being at the restaurant. I just got partnered up with my friend Ag, with Ezell's, and it's just gonna be something special today.
Yeah, 5:30 to 8:30. Ezell's Express Southern Food on 15th Street next to Wendy's. Trent will be there signing from 5:30 to 8:30. You may bring items to be signed, or you may purchase items on site at Ezell's to be signed. Now, you have to show up. You have to wait your turn, but Trent will be happy to oblige everybody. That is today, 5:30 to 8:30 at Ezell's Express Southern Food on 15th Street. Well, Trent, let's just start with where you're at right now. And I know the goal is to get back in the National Football League. Mm-hmm. Where does that stand, Trent?
It stands, it's sky's the limit when it comes to that. I've been doing a lot of training. Back here training with Cochran, with Tiger, down at Alabama with Jason. I actually just started training with my former teammate Mike McCoy. He got a facility in Birmingham.
He sure does.
We're doing a lot of stuff with him, and they actually had a real good write-up about him the other day. So we've been doing a lot of stuff, man, and just trying to get back to the basics.
So you're putting the work in, and of course, I'm looking at you right now. You look ripped. Of course, you've always looked ripped to me, but you do look like you've lost some weight, and you're pretty lean. And you mentioned those guys that you're working with. That's some of the best in the business. So obviously, you've gotten yourself in good condition.
Oh yeah, most definitely, man. Them guys, they breaking me off. They doing what they got to do, and it feel great, being able to be tired again and get back to my roots,
Yeah, you mentioned get back to your roots, and as talented as you are, and in high school, #1 running back in the country, All-American Doak Walker Award winner at Alabama, but you were known for your work ethic. That's what Trent Richardson was known for more than anything else. People said, yeah, he's talented, but nobody works harder than him. When you got to the NFL, do you feel like you lost a little bit of that, or was it a case of just the situation's not matching up with your talent, or do you think you lost something somewhere along the line and you're trying to get back and find what you once were?
I think you lose sight. I think I lost sight of the reason I was playing the game. Mm-hmm. I got so familiar with playing for everybody else and doing stuff that they wanted me to do, and not being the guy that I always been, and it hurts you in the long run, especially when you get traded. And I felt like I was the best player on the field, and I'm like, how in the world did I get traded? That took a lot out of me, man. It took a lot out of me about the game, But at the end of the day, Coach Saban used to always tell me that, especially in the NFL, it's a business. You can't really, get caught up in the feelings. That's why he's been successful, so successful, because he's never up and never down.
Right.
He's right there, in between. So, with that, you had to learn, and I was talking to Burns the other day. He said, Trent, you just got to go back and rewrite your playbook.
Yeah, man.
That's one thing he did, so that's when that's why I'm here.
Yeah, let's talk about Cleveland, because you were the #3 overall pick, and you had a good rookie year. I mean, people say, well, Trent was a bust, but in Cleveland, that rookie year, 950 yards rushing, 11 touchdowns. You seemed like you were right on track. Did you see it coming at all after 2 weeks in 2013? Did you have any inkling they were going to trade you? Did it just come out of nowhere? What happened with that?
No, I didn't have, at all, because they actually came to me about everything. They came to me about what coaches they were going to pick up. They came to me. The last thing they did was pick up a running back coach, and they made sure that I was in tune with everything. They made sure I knew about everything. Me and Jim Brown had a good relationship. We went out to eat. We did this and that every week. Met with his guys that's down there. It was very shocking, because I played the whole season broken ribs. I had 2 knee surgeries. And I ran. I didn't do no running until that first week was Thursday. First week was Thursday, and I didn't run until Thursday. I just did straight running, and by Sunday, I was in a game when I doing no cuts and played Sunday, and I made somebody's helmet come off, and it was this and that. And then I got hurt week 6 with the ribs. I think it was week 6, week 5, and I broke my ribs, and I didn't get to play the rest of that game. I got hurt like the first series, didn't play the rest of that game, and didn't get to play the next game against Indy. Then I didn't get to play the last game of the season. So 950
ain't bad. And you did, as you said, you fought through the pain to play as much as you could, because you said to yourself that's what a pro does.
Yeah,
pro goes out and play.
I remember guys sitting out with bruised ribs. I had broken ribs. So people to try to say something about my toughness or even my average, even when I was in Indy, my guy that's there now, he got the same average I had.
Right.
And he said it on record. Stuff is kind of
a little bit tough up there. Hey, will you take some phone calls when people want to talk to you? Can you do that?
Most definitely.
All right, 205-342-9904 is the number on the Bud Light Hotline presented by Adams Beverages. If you want to talk to Trent, he'll answer your questions. Right now, let's go to the Bud Light Hotline and talk to Nick. Good morning, Nick. You're on with Trent Richardson. How are you?
Hey, Gary.
Hey, buddy.
I just wanted to ask Trent about his conditioning. What part does he want to improve the most on his conditioning?
He's asking again about your condition, and what part of your physical conditioning are you looking to improve the most, Trent?
Well, for real, everything. Everything. My bursts, my getting back to my explosiveness. Just everything, and getting that wind back like I need to. Because I was, like I said, I was just working out with Mike the other day, and I felt like I was, I need to be back.
Mm-hmm.
I just need to be back to me. And saying with that, it's kind of embarrassing. And I know is, we just with Mike, I've been doing stuff with Cochran and Tiger and stuff, but with Mike is just starting up with him and doing new stuff so it's like a 2-a-day for me. But I was able to always knock out a 2-a-day, dang to do a 3-a-day by myself. And so, just getting my wind back in my whole condition, physical, it's got to be, come down from deep and dig for it.
Again, you're talking about Mike McCoy, your former Alabama teammate, now training over there in Birmingham. You're working with him to get back to NFL condition. 205-342-9904, the number on the Bud Light Hotline if you want to call in and talk to Trent. Let's pick it back up with getting traded. As you said, that's a shock to the system. I mean, here you are, the number one pick of that team. They drafted you and signed you to be their franchise back, and then boom, you're gone like that. The harsh reality of the NFL hits you right in the face. You're like, man. And you went to Indianapolis and did not work out at all. What happened there?
It's just a bad relationship, man. I don't. It's not on coach there. Coach is a hell of a coach.
Right.
Coaches have got an I would love to be around every day. To me, he reminds me a lot of Coach Saban for real. But the people that's above him, you just can't. You can't do nothing about it. And so, with that, and I don't point fingers at folks. And I know some stuff could have been done differently. But, when it comes down to football, I don't think nobody ever really judged my talent because they already know my pedigree and they know what I can do.
Mm-hmm.
But, when I come back this year, it's gonna be a lot of greatness and a lot of soreness coming out of everybody else's mouth.
So you haven't lost any confidence. I can see that and hear that.
Oh, no. It's going to be a lot of fun this year. And I'm loving it because me and Mike working every day, and we digging and we making sure that we go over everything that we missed or everything that we need to get back to.
You got that hunger. All right, where does that stand? You were the Raiders in camp last year. Where does it stand right now? I had read, Trent, earlier a few weeks ago that the Broncos had talked about signing you to a futures contract. Mm-hmm. Are you talking to any teams right now? What's the latest with getting back into the league?
I've been talking to Denver. They've been doing some stuff with Dallas. I got some of the best agents in the world. They've been doing a lot of good work for me. But, last year, if a team would have picked me up at the end of the season, I think they would have to pay the whole year. And that was the scary thing about it. And so with it is this year, we've been doing so. I actually did a workout with Denver to get on the team for next year. But I did so good, and it was like, I don't understand you're not on the team right now. It's you did so good, we really want to bring you back now for the playoffs. If somebody get hurt, we can bring you back anytime. And I guess they gotta stay healthy. So my turn gonna come.
Yeah,
it's gonna happen, and when it happens, it's gonna be big.
I'm listening to you, and I can hear the passion in your voice, and you want to play for the love of the game. Clearly, you still got that. Mm-hmm. But I used the term bust earlier. you hear, what people are saying. Trent was washed out. Trent, was used up in college. Was a bad pick by the Browns. Not that you want to play to prove anybody wrong. You want to play because you want to get back in and play. You've telling me that. But at the same time, does that fuel your comeback at all?
Oh yeah, most definitely. I don't like to listen to what everybody say, but to myself, it's a lot to prove to myself. It's a lot of goals and a lot of records I gotta, I want to break, within myself. It's a lot of, naysayers out there that I want to show up. There's a lot of naysayers, when it come to me when I just, gotta do anything. So, people gonna always talk. They're gonna always, run their mouth. I must be doing something good. I must did something good for, these people that want me to do great. But these people want me to, to be that guy that, I was promised to be. And so when it come down to it, it's just a lot of motivation. A lot of motivation. Then I got kids, and when I look at my kids, that's probably one of the hardest things I ever had to do. Tell my kids I didn't have a job.
Wow.
And so that, even when I got traded, that just took a lot out of me because I had to pick up and move and lead them there, and I had a house established. It was just hard. It just football is something that I always love, and I ain't never want to collect the check. And if I could play football for free, that's what it would have been my whole life.
Wow. All right, you're from Pensacola, and we're gonna get back to your roots here a little bit later on. But right now, I want to talk about being back in Alabama, working with Mike McCoy, working with Scott Cochran and those guys. You had so much success here in 3 years. 2 national championships, All-American, Doak Walker Award. Being back here, does that rekindle some of that fire too? Being back in Alabama, where you were the man.
Oh yeah, because you walk around and you see different pictures of me, and you see this one right here. I'm looking at it in front of me right now. You see different stuff in the stadium of me, and they got me all up in the complex. I didn't know how much big of a mark that I had on in school and around everybody until I really came back, and it leads you to thinking like, man, get up, man. What you doing? You can't let these folks, tell you what you're gonna do and what you're not gonna do. You can't let these folks sit here and have last say on your, football career. At the beginning, you were playing for, the man above, and you were sitting here playing for what you love to do. Football was a game that I picked up playing, throwing my bus, saying like football back in the day. And I learned to love the game, and I studied the game my whole life. And I was just telling my friend this, like, man, it's different stuff that we study that we don't even know. We been watching football our whole life. We done studied that game. I done studied that game. I done mastered that game. But I haven't mastered it enough that I can be on the field every doggone play, or they can call on me every play, or when somebody call on me, I'm there. I'm on the field. I'm not on the field right now, so I haven't mastered it enough. So I got to keep on going. I got to keep on trucking.
All right, we're going to take a break here on the Gary Harris Show. Trent's going to stay with us, and when we come back, I'm going to ask Trent about his relationship with Nick Saban, what it was like playing for Nick Saban and what it's like now, and if Trent has asked his old coach for advice in regards to getting back to where he wants to get, which is not just to play in the NFL, but to be, once again, one of the best running backs in professional football. Our conversation with Trent Richardson in studio here at Tide 99.1 will continue right after this. You stay with us. All right, Trent, before we went to the break, I teased the fact I wanted to ask you about Nick Saban. First, just what was it like playing for Nick Saban, and what all did you learn in your 3 years under him here at Alabama?
First of all, people is so intimidated by Nick Saban. Nick is a great guy. He's very smart. He's a genius. And so when I first met him coming into to the school, and I was so nervous. I was like, man, I'm fit to meet Nick Saban. This guy, he's so big, and this and that. This guy, he's the #1 coach. They just had an article, a news, I think it was ESPN, that he was like the #1 coach in the nation, the most powerful coach in the nation, or something like that, with the NFL in the college. And so I was, he walked, and I walk in, because he was already in there. I walk in, and I look at him, I'm like, this man is tiny. This man is small. This is what they're scared of. But he's so intimidating when you're talking to him. And, I just really got comfortable with him. He was like the most comfortable coach I got, comfortable with, because he just told me straight to the point. He was just like, Trent, I can't promise you nothing but opportunity. Yeah. And that sold me right then. He was like, we got Julio coming in. We had Mark. But the opportunity that you have, you can be a part of, a great process and a great, program that's going, win national championships. There's no doubt about it. Look what we have done, this far. And, just saying with that and watching him over the years, it just, I couldn't say no. But, playing for him is probably the best, system. And, the coaches that he have around him, man, are groomed just like him. They cut from the same cloth, so they don't take no mess. It ain't nobody, patting you on your back.
Right.
These guys are after you. I can't think of a play that my coach didn't get after me or Mark or Eddie.
Yeah.
Them guys.
And you're talking about Burton Burns now, one of the best.
Burton Burns, he the best in the game right now. I'm telling you, the best. When I left school, that was my hardest thing to tell Coach them that I was about to get ready to leave, and they probably felt it. But to the last game, like even to when I got here, I was like, man, I don't know, Coach. I really don't know. Because it's like leaving home from your mom to go to school. It's just. I was trying so hard not to cry, to explain it to everybody when I had my, when I was telling everybody I was leaving on the news. Because all the love and the memories just came back to where it's just a place that I never don't want to be a part of.
Yeah.
Like this is my family.
Yeah.
And I can't take nothing, they can't take nothing, and I can't repay these folks for what they have done for me and my family.
Yeah.
I just can't.
I'm so glad you mentioned Burton Burns, because what a low-key guy. Never looks for any credit, but from the time he got here, starting with Glenn Coffey, Mark, you, Yeldon, Henry, Dre, all of them that came through here, every running back I've ever talked to said what you said. Burton Burns is the best, man. He's the best.
Oh, man, he's the father of all of us. If you got a father, if you don't have one, he's the father figure, the perfect father figure that you want to be around, because they teach you so much about the game, but so much more about life. You get so much from it, man. I use it every day in my, my life today when I talk to my kids, how I greet people, which way to eat, whatever it was, which way to dress, to tie a tie. They taught me all this stuff that I didn't have a father. So the stuff that I didn't know growing up, I learned it here. I learned it, from them. Like I didn't have nobody to tell me what I was doing wrong or, when I was doing it right. They weren't gonna tell me every time I was doing it right, but they were gonna make sure I got it right to where, they didn't have to tell me no more.
Right. 205-342-9904 is the number on the Bud Light Hotline presented by Adams Beverages. If you want to call in and talk to Trent. Let's get back to the recruiting process, because I remember well I was doing the Tighter Insider Signing Day special that afternoon, and, we didn't know. I mean, you held your press conference down there in Pensacola, and everybody felt pretty good, but LSU had made a huge push. Florida was getting back in there, and when you put on that houndstooth hat, that's the first time anybody knew for sure you were coming to Alabama. How close was it, Trent, to going maybe somewhere else, and when did you finally make a decision that it was going to be the Tide?
It was real close, man, but like I said, just being around the guys here, being around Julio, being around Mark, and then I did all my recruiting with Dre Kirkpatrick, Nico Johnson, with DJ, and me and AJ became best friends.
I remember that.
Me and AJ did a lot of recruiting together, and so any trip that we took, either Dre was on the same trip with me or AJ was on the same trip with me. So either way it goes, that we was gonna go where each other went. And so when Dre called me and told me he did it, like, 3, I done did it. You better come on. Trent, I done did it. Come on now. AJ actually came down to my signing, and then he was just like, man, whatever you do, bro, I'm with you. No matter what. But at the end of the day, man, it just came down to LSU and Bama. That was the biggest push. Then Florida got back in it because it was hard to leave Florida, and I went to the same school as Emmitt Smith.
I was going to say, especially with Emmitt recruiting you.
Yeah, Emmitt didn't really recruit me. He was just like, man, if I was you, the best fit, it was off the record, the best fit for you is Alabama.
Yeah, because he knew what Saban was doing.
Yeah, because you the same back I was. Yeah. I love the eye. I can't do nothing but the eye. Yeah. I can't do nothing but get behind that line of scrimmage. That shotgun is just not for me. I love Florida to death, but man, listen, that's your fit.
Yeah.
And talking to him, man, he's a straight up guy, man.
Yeah, he is.
He's not gonna cut you no slack too, because that's a lot of shoes to fill.
And it worked out. That's for sure. You made the right choice.
Oh yeah.
I want to ask you. I'm gonna get back to Saban in a minute. I want to ask you about AJ and what you think he's going to get done in the NFL. But right now, we're going to go to the Bud Light Hotline presented by Adams Beverages and talk to Jeremy. Jeremy, you're on with Trent Richardson. Go ahead, my friend. Jeremy, you there? Jeremy going once. Jeremy, you there? All right, he's there, but it's not coming through. All right, let's go to Jim, who's been on hold. Let's try Jim. Jim, you're on with Trent Richardson. Go ahead, buddy.
Trent, good afternoon, sir. How are you?
Good afternoon, Jim. How you doing?
Oh, man, also, first of all, just congratulations, man, on just a phenomenal career that you put on the field in Tuscaloosa, Alabama with Alabama. You don't know how proud we are of you and your family and, you know, what you contribute to the Tide through your time here in your career.
Yes,
just
sir.
Congratulations on that and what you did in the NFL. You know, a lot of people don't recognize and understand what top elite players go to the league, and you know what you're able to do there. You know,
Yes,
just
sir.
phenomenal. So just an attaboy there, and we're just so proud of you.
Yes, sir. Thank you, man.
Well, yeah, go ahead, Jim.
I just gonna say, question: what would you say, Trent, is the difference between your collegiate career with the Tide and taking that step to the NFL? Question, the part one. The second part of the question is: would you do anything different? Would you think you needed another year, or do you think that difference as far as the performance you had at Alabama was as best as you could do to prepare you for the league?
Trent, do you sometimes wish you'd stayed another year at Bama, or was the timing right to go?
I think with all that I have had done at Alabama, I couldn't go no higher.
Right.
I couldn't, you know what I mean? Even
And you were the number 3 overall pick.
Yeah, even Coach said you really can't do much other, you know, than win the Heisman. But, you know, that wasn't, you know, really a big thing for me. But going to the NFL, I had to say, man, only thing I would have done different was not have so many people around me.
Yeah.
You know, and I had a lot of people around me for the wrong reasons.
Okay.
And when them people around you, you don't really worry about nothing other than, you know, pleasing folks.
So there's pressure when you take that step to NFL and you've got the money and you're wanting to please people and you're wanting to take care of people and they just start coming out of the woodwork, I guess. Huh?
Oh yeah, because, you know, one thing Coach Saban always had, he had us sheltered. You know, he didn't have people come around us. We stayed right there in Bryan Hall, and if you move off campus, he was gonna check up on you. And one thing he did when I did move off campus, he called my mama and made sure my mom, I'm telling you, he called my mom and made sure that my mom came up every weekend, like really came up every week or popped up sometime and checked up on me. She would report back to Coach.
And she got you in line in a hurry.
Yeah.
That's hilarious.
Listen,
that's hilarious.
He had mom on me. If mom wasn't on me, he had a coach come over there and check up on me. And that's, you know, that's just Coach, you know, just showing love and making sure that we don't get, you know, too high and too low. You know, he was making sure that we stayed right there. And that's one thing I loved about him.
Well, how often, Trent, when you were in the league, did you feel the need to call back and then talk to Coach Saban and the coaches about what you could do as far as a performance perspective, what you could do different to do things better in the league? You
know, I felt like I needed to call him a lot, and I should have, and I didn't. And I don't know why. You know, just trying to be a man and, you know, trying to figure out stuff my way. And you know, being around here, you always had a schedule. And being in the NFL, like, you're done around about 5 or so unless you're doing something extra. But here, where you had classes all day, and you had a busy schedule, and it kept you busy and it kept you locked in. You get in the NFL, you got so much time on your hand, and you got all this money, and, you know, it's just like, you know, what do you do when you don't have nothing to do? You know,
right.
you know, other than just study the game, and, you know, then you got people that's, you know, living with you, and it's, you know, it's just everything is different. You know, everything is different. Now, when I was here, you had guys that I was grinding on the field.
Complete structure here. Everything was structured for you. Class, football, social life, everything.
Everything.
And then NFL, it's like you got all this money, and now Trent is completely in charge of Trent.
Yeah, and I'm 21.
Yeah.
I'm 21, you know, and it's like, you know, what is a 21-year-old going to do with all this money? You know, what people don't realize is as a football player or an athlete, you don't have that much time to mess up. You don't have that time to fall on your butt. You don't have that time. When you not in the lead or when you're doing something else, you have time to sit there and think about, you know, what really going on, or have time to have your, you know, hiccups and stuff like that. You don't have it when you getting pressured by everybody else and they want you to do great. And it's great pressure. Don't get me wrong, I love it. But at the end of the day, when you don't know what's really going on the inside, it really is like, oh, he just can't play football. No, we got to sit in that classroom. Then we got to go out there and work out. Then we got to come back to the classroom. Then we got to go practice. Then we got to come back to the classroom. and we got to find somewhere to get some meat at the same time. And so then you got to come back and do some extra stuff on your own, because it's a lot of work now.
Yeah,
but
it is.
It's something I was blessed for, and I think is my calling. And so I'm gonna keep on running, and I'm gonna keep on doing what I do.
Good stuff. Jim, appreciate the phone call, my friend.
Appreciate it, guys. Thanks for having me on.
Appreciate you, Jim.
Jim, Trent, Jim was asking about taking that next step. What was the biggest difference that you found? I mean, everybody says when you go to high school to college, it's bigger, stronger, faster. You adjusted quickly. They say when you go from college to the NFL, it's bigger, stronger, faster. What is the biggest difference just in terms of the game from college to the NFL level that you saw?
I think it's smarter, because you got people that really actually study your.
This is their living.
Yeah, because you got people actually really study your every move.
Mm-hmm.
Like if you point somewhere, they looking to adjust to you. Like, okay, if he point that way, is he gonna go back the other way, or they listening to calls, and film is solid, but they can get film that have mute. They'll go back and get the NFL. I mean the game copy and try to listen to everything. So it's stuff that you really don't really think about. But man, it's these folks really study you, and it makes them faster. It makes them look stronger. It makes them look like a hitter. It makes them look like a good receiver or a good a quarterback, because they study. It's all about study in the NFL, and to stay relevant, because that's the only way you're gonna stay relevant. Because if you study somebody and you giving that effort, all that time is gonna pay off.
Nick Saban, back to the coach. Are you talking to him now? Do you still go to him for advice? And what's that relationship now, several years removed from having played for him at Alabama?
Oh, Nick, that's my guy, man. I talk to him all the time. I'm actually gonna go the other day and talk to him.
Okay.
And he sit there and tell me, Trent, man, and you just got to do you. You can't make everybody happy. And he told me once before, the only thing that scares me about you leaving here, Trent, is how big your heart is. You're a soft-hearted person, and it's hard for you to say no. And he preached to me about that all the time.
Have you learned?
Oh, learned. That was a very hard,
lesson.
expensive lesson to learn. And it hurts, where it come from.
But you got it down now.
Oh, yeah. It's not going to happen.
So going forward, you're in good shape. Of all the teams you played at Alabama, 2009, undefeated, national champion. 2010, some people still say that might have been the most talented team.
Yeah.
And then in 2011, they only lost 9-6 in overtime to LSU. You revenged that with 21-0. Can you say which one of those three were the best team that you played on?
Ooh, that's tough. The most talented was the 2010 team.
Really think so?
Yeah.
A little bit of a hangover of that first national championship, you think?
I just think the leadership wasn't there.
Okay.
And that's one thing we harp on. When Rolando left, we didn't really have the guy to step up. And so my last year, I made sure that I was the guy. And because we have like a team meeting every Thursday, without the coaches. Rowe used to come in there and chew us out, cuss us out, and this and that. And so
he wasn't shy, was he?
No, wasn't shy. But Rowe used big words.
Yeah.
Rowe, that's how smart Rowe was. He was Nick Saban for us.
Yeah.
And so Rowe used to use big words, and guys used to be like, "What is he talking about?" That's just how he was. And so when he left, I just instantly took that over. I made sure that I had a conversation with him about how should I come at the team, and Coach put like some good programs together where he have a leadership group, and he have a captain group. He had different programs where we talk to psychiatrists and like sports psychiatrists sometime, and there's a lot of great stuff that we have at Bama that you don't have anywhere else. We definitely didn't have that in the NFL. Everything in the NFL you got to pay for. It's right here. It's all free. Coach had everything laid out for us. And so when you move on and go somewhere else, it's like, where is this? And, why are these people not talking to me like this? Why are they being so soft with me? Why, you can get lazy with it. You can get lazy and out of shape with it, for real, because I used to be like, man, only if I can take my coaching staff or my O-line with me anywhere I go, I know I'm going to be great. I mean, but, that whole 2010 team was probably like the best team in the world, but it wasn't best because we didn't have the leadership. So 2009 and 2011, we had all the leadership in the world because we didn't feel right not being in that game. Like the tradition for us in this area, well, for Alabama anyway, we don't feel right in that game, because we was looking at that game. It was Cam and Oregon, Auburn and Oregon, and it was just like, what is going on? This don't even feel right. And Coach came back in that meeting that next day after that game. I can't believe this. I had to go announce the game. Oh, he was hot.
Yeah, he was out there on the television coverage.
They was actually booed. They was Nick Saban.
Yeah.
And, Auburn, Warrior.
Yeah.
Man, that's something that Coach loved us, and he, he loved what he do, and he put the time in, and it's just like, wow. And that's why we used to have them Thursday meetings. Rose coming in like, man, this man's a genius. He telling us what to do. Why ain't y'all getting it? He giving y'all the answers. It is not no essays. You got the open book test. He giving you the answer. So why can't you just go ahead and do what you're supposed to do?
That 2010 Iron Bowl still eat at you, because I watched you for 3 years. The only time I ever saw you drop a screen or a swing pass was that touchdown, or that would have put you up 28-0. They're going to bother you forever.
Oh, forever, man. That's probably the one game, the one play, the one game that I would never forget, because people say, well, Cam did this. Cam didn't even do nothing that game. They defense played marvelous. We had some bad mistakes. We had that year was meant for him. And I'm glad they won, and they got their national championship.
So as a player, sometimes you just think it was their time, because you're right. There were balls. Mark fumbled. It stayed in bounds for 20 yards.
About 20 yards and rolled.
It was just their year, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was just their year, man. Because I just think it was their year, man. It was just,
because they had no business coming back in that game
at all. I even felt like we took the gas off the pedal. Foot off the pedal. It's just stuff like that, man. And I guess I'm just very biased, but I don't feel like they shouldn't have won that game, but they did, and that's what hard work do.
Yeah, let's try to get in one more phone call for you, Trent, before we go. Let's go talk to Nick. Hey, Nick. Nick, you with us?
Thanks for letting me come back home.
Oh, Nick's back. All right, what you got, Nick, real quick?
I was just wondering, is there a place that you feel like your game might fit better at?
I didn't catch that. Say it again, Nick.
Is there a place, a team, that your game might fit better with?
Trent, could you understand?
Run that past me again.
Nick, we're having a hard time hearing you, buddy.
Is there a team that they feel like this game might fit better with?
Is there a team you feel like you'd be a good fit with in the NFL?
Right now, anybody, for real, man. I just need the opportunity. But Denver is a great look. Dallas is with that old line over there is a great look. Seahawks is a great look. I don't know what my guy Marshawn is gonna do. You're saying he's returned, but I don't believe it. Because he's right there at the 10,000-yard mark, and he only need like 80 yards. So it's a lot. It's a lot of teams out there that need a running back. Whoever need a running back, I just need to get in OTAs.
That's right.
I just need to get in the camp and let me show you my work and let me just be me.
So the bottom line is, before we let you go, is you just want an opportunity. You're ready. You've put the work in. You hope to get signed here soon, and like you said, be out there for OTAs.
Yeah, I just need opportunity. I don't need no handouts. Just let me know whatever you want me to do and how you want me to do it. I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it way better than what you want me to do it.
Well, Trent, it's been a pleasure. I'm looking you in the eye. I see you got the eye of the tiger. There's no doubt about it. You're ready, and Bama fans wish you nothing but success. But
yes, sir.
You control your own destiny, and I can't wait to see you get another shot, man.
Oh yes, sir. It's gonna be a great one, man.
Absolutely. Again, a reminder, you can see Trent, visit with him, and get some autographs today at Ezel's Express Southern Food on 15th Street next to Wendy's from 5:30 to 8:30. This is in collaboration with his new partnership with Ezel's Express. Again, that's 5:30 to 8:30 today, Ezel's Express on 15th Street. Thank you so much, Trent.
All right, y'all. Appreciate you.